Hello everyone and welcome back to Ask Dr. Alex. You join me for a very special episode. I'm here in Istanbul to find out more about medical tourism. There's been so much in UK press in recent years, quite negative stories about procedures here in Turkey. I'm here with Clinic Centre, who've given me unrestricted access to speak to patients and surgeons to find out their experiences and find out the truth. Why is it so much cheaper to have plastic surgery here in Turkey than in the UK?
Well, once you check the living costs of Turkey and the facilities costs, that is where the difference comes. Let's say one nurse is paid around £600 in Turkey, but with the same qualification, she will get paid more than 3,500. And also for the private hospital fees are about £500 in Turkey for a simple plastic surgery, but in UK you need to pay more than 2,000. So there are many cost savings in the whole process, and when you add them up, even with the flights and accommodation, all the cost package cost is much less than compared to having treatment in the UK.
What are the risks of having plastic surgery abroad?
Any surgery carries risks, but as Clinic Centre our goal is to make cosmetic surgery as safe as possible. So therefore all of our hospitals that we are working with are certified by GSI, which is Joint Commission International, and also TÜV, and also by ISO. So therefore we make sure that all of our patients are treated at the very high quality standards. As an A&E doctor, you know that the general hospitals are very important because they have all the medical units and also intensive care unit at the hospital. Even though we hadn't have any serious complication after surgeries, it's always good to have that you have intensive care unit once it is needed. Therefore, it's very important for us that the treatments are taking place in general hospitals. And also it's very important that after patient is discharged, they are going to stay in a hotel which is located very near to the hospital. But in the UK, once you are discharged, you are sent to the home, which might be miles away from the hospital. And also at the hotel, we provide nurse service, so which brings that even if you have any issues, the nurse is there and then you will ask her questions or anything on that location.
So what you're saying is that you're well regulated and also that you provide the care at the time and aftercare that patients need.
Well, actually we start contacting patients at London and then we are with them while they're in Turkey, and even while they go back to the UK, we are with them as well.
What are the risks of flying after surgery?
Well, there's a misconception in the UK public that patients are flown right back to the UK. It's not the case, at least in our practice. What we do is actually, at least they stay one night at the hospital, and after doctor sees them and checks they're okay to discharge, and then they are discharged to the hotel. And before they leave, they are examined at least 2 times by the plastic surgeon that they are okay to fly back. So, and the final one is just one day before the departure, so that we make sure patient is ready for fly back, and also doctor also gives a paper that she is ready to fly back.
And a lot of your patients are here even a week after if they need to be, is that right?
Yes, that's right. I mean, most commonly patients stay here like 5 to 10 days depending on their surgeries.
Why do you think people should use a service like Clinic Centre rather than maybe Googling or finding their own surgeon?
One of the other advantages we provide for the patient is that we're in a marketplace that we work with every doctor. Actually, we are a patient advocate that we strictly check the doctor's background, their medical schools, where they worked until now, where they studied, and also we talk with the prior patients, we check their before afters, and then if we are okay with them, then we start working. So therefore, this is not something a normal British person. We start giving the service in London, and then it continues in Turkey, that we provide the treatment, hotel, the transfer, everything they don't need to think of. And then at the hotel, we provide the nurse service. And once the patient is ready to go back to the UK, they know that if something happens, we are with them. So our care is quite unique in the market.
So you're saying basically you provide a full loop, a full closed loop.
Yes.
Cosmetic surgery is not something anyone should undertake lightly. Like any medical procedure, there are of course risks. If you do decide to go abroad, here are some of my tips. Make sure you do your research about your surgeon, find out about their accreditation and as many patient journeys as possible. Also consider using a local conduit. They know the market really well and can give you some advice. Also make sure, whoever you go with, that they have good aftercare and that you'll be looked after when you return to the UK.